I want to welcome everyone back to the channel. I do appreciate those who have subscribed and liked the videos. We got a lot of great content coming up, real native. So my next guest, I want to go ahead and welcome him to the show. I do appreciate you, brother, taking time out of your day or your morning to come and share your story. So if you want to, let's go ahead and get into it. So tell us your name, your tribal affiliation.
Named Raymond Salazer, tribal affiliation, Kiowa Apache, ties to the Arapahoe, Potawatomi, Shawnee, a lot of descendants and ancestors of Sage Man, Zotan, and ready to just get in and share my story here of rehabilitation and recovery for us as Native men.
I do appreciate you, Ray, coming on and sharing your story about rehabilitation, because that is one of the titles that we do have. I know a lot of our brothers go through rehab, but a lot of people are kind of tiptoeing around that subject. And I do appreciate you coming on and having that warrior in you, and you're going to go ahead and come on and share your story. So go ahead and let's just jump into it and go ahead and share your story, brother.
Okay. Well, quick summary about myself. I grew up here in California, born in Santa Clara, raised here in Sacramento, spent some time out in the East Bay. And as a young man, I already jumped into witnessing my first dysfunctional part of the family, having a mother and father separated. A lot of trauma in the family, didn't understand too much at a very young age. So trying to do the best I could with what I had as with an older brother and a younger sister. And always kept my close ties to my native side through my grandmothers. And so growing up, a lot of moving around, a lot of dysfunctional parts in the family setting, which left me lost as a young man. Trying to stay by the side of family as best I could. Growing up just left me pretty much lost without a father figure. And father kept coming in and out of the life, and then joined us at a teenage years. But when I really needed the father in the life is where it was most important. So growing up out here in the streets of Sacramento, a lot of trauma out here in Northern California. And it don't take long for the youth to adapt to drugs and alcohol due to just the curiosity of things, and trying to find that belonging, trying to find that niche of why do I not feel like I'm loved? So you gravitate to a lot of other young men who are living somewhat the same way you are, single home families. A lot of brothers that were Native, Hispanic, Black, Asian, everything in a culmination of trying to find something to belong to, and you eventually at some point gravitate towards the streets. And that's where things just got worse. You started indulging in a lot of alcohol and drugs, trying to hide all the fears of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. And growing into a teenager, into being a young man, you start to have these rules and regulations of which you think you're living by. And they're nothing more than placing more trauma for the future, which here we are at this point in our lives. I'm getting ready to be 45 years old here next month, and it weighs on you like a ton of bricks. And you start to lose that sense of that culture from yourself. And I found myself back here as a Native man, coming back to the fire, understanding how sacred it is, understanding what it means to really heal from all this trauma. So stepping into the rooms of rehabilitation and recovery and rehabbing myself to try to understand that I'm really tired. I'm really powerless over alcohol and the addiction, having an opiate addiction, being an angry man, having so much judgment and resentment towards things that were completely out of my control, having control issues, having a way of living a life full with manipulation. So putting myself in rehab and actually sobering up for the first time, and actually taking it serious enough, because like I say in the rooms, it's not my first rodeo. It's taken me some time to figure this out, and it was because I wasn't ready yet. And now that I've taken life as serious as it should be, I'm finding the healing that I need as a man. I'm finding ways to provide self-care for myself, finding ways to heal around men of like-mindedness who have been struggling with either incarceration, whether it be county, prison, life in general. It's a tough pill to swallow when you're all by yourself. And those that we've already pushed away from us, we've caused so much chaos and destruction amongst family, our inner circle, and our extended family that we really don't have the right to say, it's okay. I'm 30 days sober. Everything is going to be all right. We've got to walk with dignity and pride as to showing them what we can do versus just telling them what we do. I'm pretty sure a lot of us men out there can love to talk the talk, but it needs to be walked that way. And this is where I feel that when I stepped in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous and networking with Narcotics Anonymous has tremendously helped me put some structure in my life. And men and women that actually go through the steps is where you get a majority of that recognition for yourself. Time and time again, I've got a lot of brothers and sisters that come into the rooms that are unwilling to put in the work. And that's the real struggle is taking a look at ourselves. And that can be a very, very painful thing, especially for us as men. We're supposed to rule with the iron fist. We've been taught and told that we shouldn't cry. We were taught that we were to hold it in and harness it and take it out on somebody else in the most harmful way. That's what most of us are accustomed to. Until we want to find that healing and balance, then we start to find out what it means to work on our physical, what it means to work on our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual balance. Because when one of them are out of whack, that's when we start walking to the left. We start to lose ourselves, and we start to question again, and to have that faith, with Creator is how I found myself back to the red road. Following my cultural ways, because in the rooms I've heard a very big common theme, which was I'm sober now, I've done the steps, and I'm still in my head. There's a lot of things going on in this mind of mine that I still feel like there's a window of opportunity. And so there are things that men and women can do to get these natural endorphins going to help subside that and learn how to live, like they say, on life's terms. Because when you get sober, life doesn't stop. A lot of trauma still does happen. Grief and loss still comes in waves, and it's how we handle it. How do we handle these situations and react in the manner that we should versus the manner that we've been accustomed to reacting, which is to jump to either the bottle or some sort of narcotic. And in my view, I chose that as a warrior, as a Native American man. I've been aggressive all my life, and I've been fighting all my life, and I'm tired. Yet as a man, we still have that inside of us, this warrior attitude. So I had to find something to push a narrative that would help me subside this mentality and keep me stable as an angry man. So I chose boxing. And I've had a handful of individuals that felt that maybe that might be a detriment to my lifestyle and recovery because of what I've came from. And I told them I wanted you guys to understand that what I do as a man is that I have an aggression that I need to unleash the proper way. And ultimately, it helps me in my health. It helps me sustain motivation for me to breathe and meditate. I do this for about 2 hours a day, 4 days a week. And what I think about most is how calm I am after. And things like that doesn't necessarily have to mean that you have to go be a boxer. I'm not trying to be a professional boxer. I'm working on my health, and we're working on a sustained mentality where life's going to come at me in waves, and I want to be able to handle them the best way possible. Do the next best thing. So as I motivate myself and get through these steps, understanding that I'm powerless, understanding that I've got to let Creator in my life, understanding that there's going to be a time that when men and women walk through these steps, that the most common thing that people are truly afraid of is this moral inventory of taking a look and taking a deep dive at themselves and taking accountability for themselves and making sure that they understand that what's done is done. I don't own that anymore. what it means to truly surrender. When you build confidence up enough to face the demons by putting together a structure in your life that's going to help you just arm yourself with tools and resources and a huge network of brothers and sisters that are going through, if not worse or the same as what you're going through. And that's what I truly love about all my brothers and sisters, whether it's AA, NA, or the Red Road. We're all struggling and striving for the same thing. And yet, when we first walked into these rooms, all we could think of is, I'm the only one. No one else is going through what I'm going through. And you come to find out there's a lot more than you think. There's a lot more like-mindedness, amongst us as men when it comes to the anxiety, the depression, uh, the rampant mind thinking of what one goes through because I've lost everything. I'm incarcerated now. What do I have to look forward to when I come home? Who can I go to? Where are all my true brothers? And, we step in and we help those men as they're coming back home. And, we deal with a lot of ego. The ego tells us that it's just another drug. It tells me that I am fully in control of everything that's in front of me. And most of the time it's not that. That's not the case. We've got to destroy that and live as peaceful as we can. Uh, it's a hard thing to forgive and not forget. We have to forgive ourselves for all the pain that we've caused, as well as individuals that come amongst us. Um, you know, Having this spiritual awakening has me with a constant and consistent conversation with Creator, asking for guidance, asking for strength on a constant basis, because that's what I need. I love being able to help now that I have somewhat of time under my belt, 4 years now, as of June 2nd, 2023. And it just shows me that there's still a lot of work to be done. This disease here takes anyone and everyone at any given moment when you allow it to. And this is why we do the work we do. And I say to my brothers that, the unknown of you stepping in and out of a lifestyle, the unknown is scary. I think all of us at some point are so hung up on the fact of what is the other individual going to think versus what I should be thinking about. It's not about what other people think about me anymore and how I walk. It's about me and how I walk. That conversation I have with Creator allows me to not just talk about what I do. I have to walk what I say in a manner where other men will gravitate and say, I need some guidance. And that's what I love being able to do is to help other men who, they see us in transition and they need it. They're just as scared as any one of us who were dipping into recovery in the very beginning. You're scared, you don't know what to do, your emotions are running wild. You think that everything's going to happen overnight. I know I did. I thought everything was going to happen in 30 days and Big Ray was going to be okay. And that wasn't the case. There was a lot of work that needed to be done. So, which led me then to those missing opportunities of still being able to do something outside of recovery to keep myself motivated and to help myself stay out of that funk, what they say, when you're all in your head and you think that everything's just on that cloud and you got it all under control again. You still need to do a lot of work. So what we do is, we help the men. You get some time under your belt. You either become a sponsor, you start being of service to a lot of your community, and as a Native man, I gravitate to a lot of other Native men who see the need for help. They want to know. They want to know how can you do that? How can you walk that way? I'm too concerned as to the things that I shouldn't be sharing with people, and they're caught up still in that, that hold of I don't want to let too much out, and by far that burden basket has to be released. We've got so many things in life right now that need to tailor around our family unity and bringing back the things that we need in our life. And it's strange that a lot of us have fought just tooth and nail to keep the control of an old past that is no longer there. And there's so much more life out there. There's so much more balance and peace and healing. And, you know, Native men, you know, I'm very proud of the amount of Native men I see that are just consistently on an upskill, battle with getting it right. And it makes me proud as a Native American man, because there's a lot of categories we get put in, and a lot of things, over years and generations of what we cannot do and what we are completely capable of doing with our warrior attitude and with the healing we got with Creator. It supersedes a lot of things, but we have to be willing. We have to be willing to turn that over. We have to be teachable, having that niche to say, I'm better than this. I want to walk with that integrity. I want to walk with that dignity, upright and righteous, and be able to show other men that it's possible. We can't keep that category of them saying that we're just nothing. We're going to be just drunks and things of that nature, and we're far more powerful than that. And I keep going back to the fact that when recovery is set in front of us, some of us tend to shy away from the work that we need to do. So when we're doing this work, a lot of us, we balk, we pause, because we're clearly just afraid of what's to become of us. And the things that happen, from the chaos that we've caused, starts to slowly come back little by little. Yet we expect these trophies and accolades of things, and it's not going to happen overnight. And so when we also talk about other things other than alcohol and narcotics, I definitely am one who doesn't shy away from the opiate addiction, because I've acquired that as well during a back surgery. And that is another animal in itself, and it's not spoken about enough, as well as mental health, being able to take care of ourselves as men, uh, being able to admit that we can utilize self-care in its biggest way, being able to love yourself as a man, because again, we're taught that we're not supposed to show emotion and things of that nature, and yet men will figure that out. And it takes balance and peace and everything in the book to find that. And it's tough. It is a very, very big struggle, because again, we want so much in so little time, and don't understand that this is a journey. This is my journey. All men, we have a journey that we're walking, and we want it so quick, and it just don't happen that way. And it gets frustrating. It gets very frustrating, especially when things aren't going your way. To my brothers who are getting out of prison in the county jails, the category of being put in there that you won't get a job, you're going to be frowned upon, this, that, and third. And you know what? That's not the case. You've got to come out with some confidence. You come out with confidence and surround yourself with brothers and network with brothers who will get you back on the same path that you were before, if not better. And the confidence that I have now that brings me out of recovery is something that I've never understood. I'm able to do things in a manner where I am at peace. I'm not as angry. I am sober. I know how to take care of myself. I love myself to the point where I'm able to do for myself with things that I've never could imagine. I was too busy being drunk and high, and now I don't have to live that way. I get an opportunity to think of myself and put myself in a position to where I'm now able to work for the community and be of service for the men. And with that, I appreciate you, brother, and I thank you for allowing me to come on here and speak on behalf of this for us, as well as Native American men.
Oh, I do appreciate you taking time out of your day again and sharing about the importance of it. Mental health is one, substance abuse, all this is very, very valuable information. So there are a few questions I want to ask you. I know a lot of people know, but there are some people that don't know what is AA, what is NA, what is Red Road, what is White Bison. In brief discussion or detail, what is the Red Road and White Bison for those non-natives that may be watching this, or those natives that want to be in rehab that are having difficulty going through the AA format or the NA format, that let them know that there's another format, way towards us natives. So if you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Red Road and White Bison, in my opinion, is just our cultural way. And there's a handful of things that could be adapted from AA and NA outlook in regards to the structure of the steps, but we're taking a cultural aspect of our steps. So in regards to certain stages of us missing as we were growing from a young man, from an infant to a child, to a young man, to an elder, and being instructed on how to heal the cultural way as a Native American man. As White Bison, all of it is pretty much good medicine. Good medicine for us as Native American men. The AA and NA are structured on steps and ways of following a natural order to find that balance, to get that structure back in our lives, and taking these steps of admitting up to things like being powerless, understanding what it is to surrender, taking moral inventory and accountability in ourselves, taking the initiative to making amends to people, taking a look at inventory for character defects, asking God, our creator, to remove these negative thoughts and things of that nature to have us prosper in life and keep going. So with it being non-native or native, the Red Road to Recovery is more cultural driven than it is just the structural way of AA and NA.
Thank you. And that's one thing that people don't realize, that we natives, we have the highest rate of recovery, mental health, drugs, alcohol, because of our traditional ways. And that's one thing I do appreciate about our relatives up north, Mud and those guys. They're doing a prevention is culture is prevention. The what they're doing up there, teaching the traditional way, leading them to the medicine, which is beautiful. We do have that, and that's what keeps me going. I would say 2003 is the last time, I had drank, you know what I mean? And ever since then, I've been on this journey, you know what I mean, of full life commitment, you know what I mean, to this life, in a constructive way. You know what I mean? I've always been a native, but I'm doing positive things, you know what I mean, trying to save culture preservation and bringing brothers on you, like you on the show, sharing your story, sharing about what's working for you. So I have a couple more questions. What are you doing now? I know you elaborated a little bit in the story, like what are you doing now to help the Native community?
Right now, I'm still working with the immense talking circle within the Native community, and we are trying to bring on as many as willing in regards to Native men that are looking for that help, looking for that structure in the Red Road, looking to come and be willing to sit around the fire, sit in the circle, and letting them understand that they're not alone. We have tons of brothers that are there now, and I love every bit of it because we're able to help each other, all from different tribes. And I would be honored that if, even if an email or something got dropped down, if any man in Northern California in regards to Sacramento would like to come see it, it would be an honor for me to be able to bring you to the circle.
Do appreciate your service to the Native community, strong brothers like you, warriors like you, that are out there putting in that work and helping people in a constructive way. So I have two more questions before we wrap it up. They're kind of deep. Some people may like them, some people may not like them. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, when they say Big Ray, what do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for the man that I've become, which is the man that sits there and stands in front of another man and tells him what he needs to hear versus what he wants to hear. What you want to hear is that life is easy and you can get through it by cheating your way through it. And that's not the case. I'll be the man to tell you what you need to hear, which is there's a lot of work to be put in as a man. It's a never ending story. I will tell you that I can't hold your hand, but I can guide you in the same way that all of us other men have been, and get you to a very good head start. And from that point on, you won't have a luxury of looking no more in that rearview mirror.
Oh, the last question I have, brother, is any words of wisdom to the youngsters, the next generation that may be dabbling out there with a little bit of drugs and alcohol, heading down the wrong path? Any words of encouragement to them? Words of wisdom.
Words of encouragement and wisdom. Well, the first thing I'd like to say to all you young men is that Big Ray loves you. And if no one's told you that this morning, I just did. There's a lot of us men out there that care about you a lot more than you think. Gravitate to your brothers who are willing to work with you to get you into jobs and education. There's nothing good that happens after 12. Stay off the streets, find a sport, find some jobs, find your cultural ways, find your way back to the ceremonies of what you Native men should be learning about. It will benefit you in the long run, and keep a constant conversation with Creator.
Thanks again, Ray. With that being said, everyone that comes on the show gets a gift from myself. So you got 4 years, brother. I'm going to honor you with an eagle feather. It's a very sacred medicine for us. You absolutely deserve an eagle feather. If you don't have one, you definitely deserve one. And if you do have some, you definitely deserve to add it to your collection of well-earned eagle feathers. I want to thank Greg, who donated the eagle feathers. I will not say his last name out of respect to you, brother, but Greg have helped me tremendously with the creating of the rattles. He gave me a eagle wing, and he also gave me some other things. I do appreciate that, Greg, over here in the Napa Valley. You know who you are. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I hope you like and subscribe this video. And if you want to come on, you do have a story to tell, please come on, share your story. With that being said,